Hello, welcome back to my channel. I saw a request on the Brutus Monroe fan club page about, or a question about the pigment powders, and I have them, so I thought I'd play around with them a little bit today. I'm on the Brutus Monroe inspiration team for subscription products in particular, and I thought maybe I'd show you some of the things that I've done with them. I've played with them a little bit, and today's going to be an experimenting of doing some other things. So on top of the pigment powders, I have white, pink, orange, red, blue, green, yellow, purple. These are collection one. There you go. That's what they look like. On top of those, I also have my Brutus Monroe embossing ink. I have a Ranger tool with foam daubers to use. I have a variety of scrap cardstocks because we're just going to play. I believe this is Conservatory of Quotes. I just took it out, but I didn't look for sure. Yes, Conservatory of Quotes. I'm going to play with this image. I haven't actually used it before. I also have Butterfly Sentiments 2. I thought maybe you could play a little bit with the butterflies. I have some white and black watercolor paper, and I have the Folk Wave stencil from Brutus Monroe and also the School of Fish stencil. And the last thing I am going to use, which I haven't done yet, is I have this little mini mister. I haven't had a chance to fill it with water yet, so give me just a second. I forgot about that part. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I better fill that up before we get started. I just have a little bit of water in here. I don't know if you can see how much. There's not very much in there. I'm just going to keep that covered for right now. So there's a variety of ways you can use these pigment powders. And the first one I'm going to show you, I believe they work better on dark cardstock. Like I said, I'm just playing, so we'll see what happens here. I've got a black piece of cardstock here and the Folk Wave stencil, and I'm just going to tape that down to it. You can use pixie spray if you want. I'm just going to tape it, but we're just having some fun. I'm going to take my embossing ink and I'm going to push it through. I also can use, did my stencil move? I can also use my Ranger dauber here. That's what I like to use a lot when I'm using my embossing ink with stencils, especially to make sure it goes all the way through. All right, let's cover that up here. Peel that off. I don't know if you can see that, but the stencil design is through. I'm going to take off that purple tape as well. All right, so let's just play with some embossing powders here. Pigment powders, I apologize. I'm going to get out, this is the red, and yeah, I'm using a dry brush, and I'm just going to go in and take some, and I'm going to daub it on, and I'm going to rub it all over. So I did this last night with a stamp. I'm going to try it again today, and I will tell you that my embossing ink pad was not, I've been using it a lot, so I needed to get some more ink, so I re-inked it this morning, so it is a lot juicier. And then here's some blue. You don't need a lot, and I just rub it on. I don't know if you can see the shine. And then I'm also going to grab some yellow. And I just have a towel cloth off to the side that I'm kind of rubbing off the extras on. Add some yellow here. And just like I said, barely daubing it in there. You can go in and take some off the lid if you want. And I will tell you when if I get a bunch, where I touch is where it's going to be darker. But you just can go back and get some more. And then my last color here, let's throw on some green. I can get it open. There's some on the side there. Let me just... All right, and there's my first little panel. I'll play with these a little bit later, maybe to make cards. I just thought I'd show how they work. I'm gonna clean this off just a little bit, and then I don't know if you need to do this or not, but I just take my little wet and I just spray it a little bit, and hopefully, and let it just sit, and then that tends to help with like the setting. So I don't know if you can quite see that. So I'll let that set off to the side to dry. And next I'm going to show you on a piece of watercolor paper. I'm actually going to cut this down because it's quite big and we're just playing a little bit. I'm going to make a 3-inch panel. Some black cardstock. And this is something I haven't done before, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to just take some pigment powders. And I'm just going to put them on. I just want to see what happens. Nothing might happen. I've never done this before. Here's some orange. And some pink. So nothing's really going to probably happen because it's just on watercolor paper right now and it's dry. There's nothing for it to stick to. So I'm just going to take my little mister that I have and spray it. And I'm going to set that to the side and see what happens. So you could do it that way to make like a galaxy background. However, Brutus Monroe also has these galaxy powders, which I will make a video of very soon. Maybe later today I'll make another one of those, showing how to use some of those. But I just thought I'd see what it looked like if I just did a little powder on it. If it's wet, I don't want to use the same brush. I'm going to grab a different paintbrush here. And I'm just going to dab it in. And you can do that. So there's just a little sample of, like, if you would want to just kind of random do it, I can do. Here's a little bit of that water here. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. We'll just see what happens with that piece. All right, so I know somebody else asked, they said that they thought they could watercolor with it. I have not watercolored with mine yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down just a little bit. I'm going to use my little scoop off my quick glue pen here to pull some off to the side. And I'm going to grab some purple, because I don't want to stick a wet brush into my pigment powders. I don't think that would have very good results. And so then I'm just going to spray some water on them. And I'll pick up some of the purple, and then I'm just going to, and see, now I'm doing this on white because I thought I'd show you what it looks like. So here's some of the green, and here's some of the blue or purple. And I don't know how well you can see it, but they don't show up the best, but you can see them. They're very light. They would be a nice muted pastel tone background. If you were going to paint in an image with them, or if you wanted to make like a fun watercolor background with them. So that is on this. And then I'll grab that same black piece of cardstock. This is a strap now, I believe. Let me cut this down one more time. And we'll do the same thing on, I really roughly cut that, but I'm going to cut these panels down and make focal panels. So we're going to go in and grab just a little bit of the purple. And let's grab some red. Put it in a different spot. Now I grabbed quite a bit there. I don't think you would need to have that much exactly. I'm just gonna wipe off my little cookie glue pen there. Okay, so there may be other ways to use these as watercolors. This is just the way I was thinking I would do it. So here I'm just gonna paint some nice little stripes. All right, I have a bucket of water from the other day where I was watercoloring. Oh, look at the red. Okay, where's my white piece? Let's grab a little bit of that red. Just a little bit left there. Let's see if I can... Okay, wipe that up. So here is what the red and purple look like on the black. And here's a comparison with the purple, the green, and I put a little bit of the red. So there's, you see how it's a muted tone? So it's very shiny on the black. So I would recommend using these on darker paper, but you can use, because there is some shimmer. I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not. And then these just need to dry. So I'll put these off to the side to dry. And then I'm going to grab my mini Misty here. Excuse my arms and I'm going to grab my magnets. And I'm just going to grab some regular old pink cardstock. I think this might have been some old, I think it's old Stampin' Up! Cardstock, to be honest with you. It's just a scrap. And I'm going to get out this Conservatory quotes stamp. Sorry, I was kind of willy-nilly pulling that off, and I'm going to put that on. How do I want it? I think I want more of the flowers, less of the leaves. Okay. And I haven't used this stamp before, so I tend to like to wipe off my stamps. I think I might be off camera, and I apologize. With just a cloth and my finger the first time I use them, just to make sure they're nice and primed and ready to go. Use some embossing ink. And I saw a post from Ileana that the Misty 2.0s came in, the originals, and they started shipping them yesterday. I haven't ordered one yet. Nice, good, clean stamp the first time. So I'm going to use that. That's why I like the Misty. In case it doesn't, I can do it again. But I heard that they were shipping, so if you've ordered one, that's awesome. I'll be ordering one probably a little bit later this year. And so now I'm just going to take some green and I'm going to go in. And I'm going to go in and pull this over here so I can see kind of, let's put my image, kind of how it is, so I can see where the leaves are. And I'm not going to be perfect with the leaves and the green because, you know, it's a handmade, and I can create what I want. But I'm going to do, let's see, is there some leaves in the middle here? It looks like there might be some. I can't quite see the light. I think there's some right here. So I don't know if you're seeing that on camera, but I'm just putting the green in and I'm just rubbing it around. Again, once I said this is a dry brush, I'm gonna rub that over. Now, I'm on pink paper, so I think I'm going to try the pink, even though I'm on pink paper, because it'll give it the sparkle. Just gonna blow off some of that extra. It's just, there's nothing for it to stick to, it just comes off. And then I'm going to go in here with my pink. And make sure that I, you know, go in and rub it on both, even if, you know, it overlaps a little bit. It's okay. Sometimes I just go in and take it off the lid too. Like I said, I found that if you touch exactly with a fresh brush, that's where it's the brightest. And I'm just going to rub it all over. And I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm going to stand up and look at the camera. I'll bring that a little closer. But there's a lot of shine on there. I think there you can see it. And I could take a dry brush and I can brush off all this other spots over here. I can do it with a cloth. I can just brush it, but it sticks just where the embossing ink was. And then once again, I'm just going to oops, I better cover this up first. Just take a little mister. I'm just going to spray it a little bit. Get that off. Just to see. I'm not sure if I have to set them or not, but I am going to put a little water on because it's not going to hurt anything. There you go. So the last thing I'm going to show you quick, because I just wanted to make a quick video. I see water everywhere here. Is I'm just going to grab another piece of this scratch paper. I'll try actually a couple slices. Okay, a couple pieces. So I got that little mister bottle, and I'm gonna with just a little water. I'm not sure, you could use like isopropyl alcohol, but I'm going to just use yellow. I think I just have some water, and I'm going to take a little scoop. I've actually not done this, but you could do it with the white, I think, in particular, but I have a white one right now that I need to use up, and I wanted to show you how I do it. Just put a little couple scoops in there, wipe that excess off, put my lid on so I don't think I put my pink one on. Okay, I'm going to put my little mister cap on, and I'm going to do this off camera, but I'm just going to shake it real good. I don't want to make anyone seasick. So I just shook it, and then I'm just going to take this and and this might not show up right away because it might need to dry, which I can get my, oops, this is a mister that came with something for me. Let me get my heat tool out quick. I should have had that out, I apologize. And we'll quick dry it and see what it looks like. I know you can do this. I think a lot of people do it with the white. I just tried it with the yellow. We'll see. I can see some sparkle. I can see the sparkle on the blue or the brown right away. Like I said, this was just scrap cardstock. I'm not sure. I've had this cut down for a long time. A lot of water right there, and stab some of that off. Try the other side to kind of flatten it out a little bit since I'm using my heat tool. And as you can see, they dry pretty quickly. But I just quick check them. Make sure they're all nice and okay. So I'll bring these close to the camera. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle, but it's like a mist, so you can do a shimmer on it. You can use more. You could do a second. This one's the yellow, and this one's the blue, and there's just a hint of it. Now looks kind of like a sparkly paper. So I don't know if that answers. Here's our Galaxy type 1 that I made with just dropping the pigment powders in. Here's where I painted a little and then just sprayed the water. See, I'm just going to rub on it. And here's the one where I watercolored on the black cardstock. Our watercolor paper. You could use cardstock. I just had black watercolor paper handy. Here's the white watercolor paper. And here's my inking. And I didn't use the Butterfly Sentiments 2 this time, but here is the thing. So like I said, all I used was, I did use this a little bit. I used some water, the pigment powders, which are listed here, a dry paintbrush, which I don't use for anything else. I had this mister, and I had my embossing ink, and then some paper. So I hope that helps answer some of your questions on the pigment powders and how you can use them. This is my favorite way to use them, is through a stencil or a stamp and adding some sparkle to just specific areas. Personally, I'm not the best watercolorist. That's something I'm working on, but it makes some fun colors. So it'd be fun to watercolor an image like this with them, or a bigger flower, or Christmas is coming, ornaments, things like that. So I hope that answers your questions. Give me a thumbs up, comment anything you want. Please subscribe if you'd like. I'd appreciate it. And have a great day. Bye.